Well. Things just got very interesting with the whole Marlow situation. Swight, a little over 10 hours ago, released a video proving, beyond what I believe is a shadow of a doubt, that Marlow's hand cam video was faked, which she used as proof that she wasn't cheating. So let's take a look at that video and explain why exactly Marlow's video was faked. Let's get into it. Okay, so going into this, let's just get a little bit of context. This hand cam video by Marlow, supposedly Marlow, right? We can see your screen, we can see your mouse, we can see your mouse clicks. She's fighting this guy named Gollum, right? It's a little blurry, but their name is Gollum. She also fights one of the best UHC players of all time, this guy named Vivikai. Right, Vivikai. This video was posted by her as proof she was not cheating. Excuse me, I gotta get a bit of a cold there. Right? And then Swight kind of disproves this. Let's take a look at his video.
Right. Marlow faked her hand cam.
Yes.
And more than just that, the video of her fighting me in pot for a tier test on her channel is also fake.
Again, this video, I actually did an analysis of this if you want to check it out, although it might have, it's probably was faked. Right. Marlow fights Swight. It ends in Swight, score of 15-2. 15-2. Okay. Back to this video.
Now, you might be a little confused on if it was fake. Why didn't all those people who fought her in the video say anything?
Because the scores were real.
Well, that's the thing. Technically, we did all those fights with those scores. But those aren't the same fights you were watching on screen. The fights with me, Golem, and Vivikai, they are all recreations of real fights.
This is genuinely
now, why
sad.
she did this most likely has to do with the fact that it would be too easy to spot her cheating from her point of view.
Yeah.
So she completely recreated and staged the fights. Before I move on, I just want to say all this information was just...
The one thing I want to know is how did she actually do this? Like, what did she do to recreate the fights? Okay? Like, I want to know. Like, if she did it on PvP Club, that would even implicate, PvP Club as being, maybe partially responsible for her being able to recreate her fights. Who knows? But I really want to know, because it'd be cool to be able to recreate fights for less nefarious purposes, of course.
Discovered after I accepted her duel, and she has yet to respond to me. Now, how do we know she...
Hold on. That's a very important detail. Okay. Marlow challenged Swight to a duel. They were going to meet up in person, duel on a LAN server, so they would not be able to cheat. Okay? Now listen to what Swight has to say.
After I accepted her duel, and she is yet to respond to me.
He accepted her duel to fight in real life. She has not responded. Interesting.
Now, how do we know she recreated these fights? If you watch the first part of Marlow's new response, she admits how she slowed down tick rate and staged her montages.
Yeah.
She admits to staging.
She admits to staging her montages, but not to being a cheater.
Because she only says this is true for the montages.
Yeah, exactly.
The truth is, almost every montage on my channel is heavily staged. And by that, I mean the majority of clips are scenarios that I replay a few times to create more variety in the montage.
Brother.
When someone heard about this, they pointed out to me the possibility of her doing it in the more important fights too. So after some research, we found some shocking stuff.
Yeah, they really did.
Every time you load up Minecraft, from the moment you click play to the moment you close your game, it records something in a text document called logs. These logs record important...
This is actually what moderators use to see if you're cheating or not.
Information, such as messages being sent in chat and the time they were sent in chat. Now, fortunately, MCPvP has a system where at the end of the duel, a message is sent in chat giving data such as their health, the score, and the amount of pods.
This is really important.
And because it is sent in chat, these are also recorded in your logs that you can look back upon. Now, I'm going to put on screen some of the chat messages from Marlow's POV of her fight with Golem. She used this in her Hacking is Bad video with Handcam to prove she's legit. And I'm going to show what Golem's log says about it.
Okay, again, pause this video if you want to look at these longer. This is important. These are screenshots taken from her video, her point of view, of supposedly how many healing potions she had left when she won the round, and what her HP was, her health points were when she won the round, okay?
About it.
This is important.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're different here. Like, what the heck? Like, look at this. They do not line up. They do not. Right? For example, this says 13 out of 20 HP. Where is 13 out of 20 HP? For example, let's get another one. 6 out of 26 bots. Really? Nothing. Nothing is shown here for that.
As you can see, literally none of the health counters line up correctly.
Brother.
But that isn't even all of it. Here's the pot counter in the video, and you can see the real one in the logs. Additionally, the
So it
timer
doesn't line
rounds
up.
didn't line up at all either. Also, this isn't something that the server could mess up, because the server would have sent the same incorrect message to both.
Yeah.
But it just happened to send only to Marlow. I also tried checking if any of my past videos had somehow messed up in the logs, and I couldn't find anything. But okay, let's say somehow, that day, something was broken. Let's take a look at the pot test with me and Marlow that she uploaded. Once again, the pots and the health and time of the rounds just didn't line up at all.
Again,
For even
pause
more
if you want to
confirmation, I had
look
two
at this for
people who were
yourself,
spectating
okay?
the match send me their logs.
But I'm telling you,
And
this
what
is
we
real.
found was that they match up with mine. The only outliers were Marlow. Also, if you're having doubts on whether this was the same duel, you can see in the logs I'm down 0-8, get 2 rounds in a row, then lose 52. Exactly what happened in the tier test and in her video. So it's clear she's trying to recreate this exact fight.
Again, this is an
Also,
important
in the
detail.
fight against Vivikai, who also had sent me his logs, once again, the health is inaccurate. Also,
Okay, the one thing I have a question about. Marlow, if you see this video, please answer me. Okay? If you're gonna fake it, why did you not have the same health at the end? Okay? Maybe that's just really hard to fake. I don't know. If you're going to the extent where you're literally having faking the movements of another player, there should be something you can do to the chat to modify it. I'm just saying. Maybe it's not
in
fake.
this duel,
But
Jacker
I
happened to spectate,
highly doubt
and
that.
in her logs, the health matched up perfectly with Vivi's. So once again, it was just Marlow who was the outlier. Now, something to
Weird.
point out was, according to Jacker, after Marlow won 5
For those who don't know, Jacker Acid is one of the best axe and shield players of all time. I mean, yeah.
Marlow
Anyways.
had asked Jacker to stop spectating, and
So
something
again,
that never
a
reached the video. We can see Marlow
very
asked Vivi to just do
prominent
normal
member of
UFC
the
duels,
community
not
is
for the
saying
video, and we
is
can see
saying
the
this.
score was 8-10 to Marlow, which is significantly closer than the 5-0.
Yeah.
Also, some of you might have realized, if this is all true, all we would need is a single recording of her fights, and it would all be over. However, she managed to save herself from almost being in the situation with Adam Sony. According to Adam Sony, he was initially supposed to be one of the people Marlow fought for a handcam video. However, if you look at the screenshot, she instantly said never mind when
I'm gonna read this. I haven't read this before. Adam Sony, again, he's a sword player, one of the best of all time. Highly respected player. Alright. He says to Marlow, alright, here's my POV point of view of our fights. Thank you. I ended up getting a 5-0 on Golem in pot, so I might just use that instead. Okay. Kind of deflecting here, not wanting him to use it. I mean, maybe this is just a coincidence. I doubt it. He says, oh, nice. And then Marlow says, since he's high tier 2 and pot is longer and more aim intensive. Yeah.
Sony
Okay.
had revealed he
Sure.
recorded the fight. Even worse is this message Marlow sent to Golem, where she
Interesting.
directly gets confirmation on whether or not Golem was recording the fight. I'm going to show all the differences on a spreadsheet right here. And literally,
Again, pause for longer if you want to look at this.
none of them line up.
They don't.
Now, if you're still convinced and holding on to the hope that it's some sort of crazy bug that has only affected Marlow, let me tell you something that's undeniable. I went back to my DMs with Marlow on the day we did our pot test.
This is very important. This is probably the most important point of the entire video. So pay attention. Buckle up.
I found something really interesting. She mentions how my helmet broke during the fight, and I vividly remember this happening in our test also. However,
Yeah, during this tier test, okay? I mean, Swight maybe could be being dishonest here. Maybe it could have been a different tier test. Who knows? But like, what we have to realize is unless he's getting paid obscene amounts of money, he has no motivation to be trying to prove that Marlow is a cheater, okay?
if you go through the fight that was posted in Marlow's channel, You can see at no point did my helmet.
It doesn't.
ever
I've watched
break
this
in a
fight many
recreation.
times. I even analyzed it.
Lastly,
Shout out
about
to
her
that
challenge
video.
of the duel. In my opinion, it's possible she made it seem like she was willing to do something this big, so it can make people think, oh, if she's willing to do something like that, she must be legit, without actually having the intent of going through with it in the first place. We've seen her do something similar before to Adam Sony, where she mentions that she will live stream handcam and makes up an excuse saying her internet wasn't good enough for streaming.
Brother! This is the most ridiculous thing I've heard from Marlow. Okay, she's not that laggy of a player. She can live stream. Okay. I think Swight makes a good point. Maybe Marlow's just, kind of deflecting with all of the stuff she's saying about doing an in-person PvP fight against Swight. We'll have to see. If it never happens, then I think it's probably safe to say that she's a cheater. If it does happen, maybe not. I hope she's not a cheater, but this is getting really weird.
I can admit I'm a little scared posting this video knowing there's a chance they try to take me down with them. So to be blunt here, I do not have a clean, perfect history, and I've definitely
Here's what he's talking about. The main thing he is talking about here is that in the past, he cheated outside of tier tests. Okay, blatantly. And I think he got in trouble for that. But as far as I know, there is no evidence of him cheating within tier tests. Okay?
Up in the past. I can confidently say that doesn't represent me today.
I don't think it does. I think Swight is a respectable
and now
player.
That I've come across this information, I can't
maybe
let
the
this
best of
slide,
all
even
time.
if it means risking everything. To conclude this video, my final verdict is there is absolutely zero chance that her fights that she uploaded with me, Golem, and Vivi are actually real.
Nice bow boost, by the way.
And using recreated fights in a video that had the purpose of proving your innocence is disgusting and proves you're guilty.
It kind of does. I mean,
it's
really good evidence. This might be the best evidence. Again, this might be the best evidence that Marlow's cheating so far.
Really opposed, but I really do hate doing stuff like this. I just can't.
I think he does. I think he's being genuine. All right. Okay. So again, very compelling evidence from Swight. I think that the only thing that could really be used at this point to prove that Marlow is not a cheater is for them to duel in person, which we don't really know what's gonna happen. We'll just have to wait and see. I think it will be a very exciting time for the PvP community if this does indeed happen. Secondly, 2 points I want to make before we finish up with this video. Number 1. Okay, is the woman we see in Marlow's video really Marlow? Maybe. If that is Marlow, if it really is the person who's been behind the Marlow account for all these years, then I think it's safe to say, based off of the current evidence, that they are cheating or using some very sus stuff. There's something they're hiding, quite obviously. If that was not actually Marlow, then that very well means, or could implicate, that Danger Mario paid someone to pretend to be Marlow, right? They did not have the same voice as Marlow. They claimed it was an AI voice changer, which obviously it was. Okay. So again, very strange stuff. I will be making more videos reacting to and analyzing and breaking down all of this new evidence for you guys every single day. So please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.